Hi everyone, today we're going to look at the Kobalt 10-inch wet saw. I've been using this wet saw to build a brick oven, and if you're interested in that, you can just click in your top right hand corner there and it'll take you there when this video is done. But I bought this so that way I can cut a whole bunch of bricks, and I've been using it for a while and I want to share with you my experiences on it. The first thing I'm going to do is talk about what I like about the saw, and then I want to talk about the things that I don't like about the saw, and then I'll give you my final verdict. Right away, once I put this thing together, I love the fact that by just pushing a button with your foot, this thing just unfolds with ease. This is a 2.4 horsepower machine, and I had no problem cutting about 200 bricks yesterday using all different features of this saw: bevel cuts, miter cuts, straight cuts. So the motor is definitely good enough for bricks and things like that. This saw allows you to do plunge cuts with ease. You can lock it at any depth that you want with ease, okay? Or you can just keep it in the fixed position and use the slider to cut your stones and your tiles and such. Also, a really nice feature is the fact that you can do bevel cuts very easily. Just by loosening this up, you can tilt to a full 45 degrees, lock it up, and it cuts. And I've already used it, and it cuts real nice. It also comes with this miter gauge, and you can set it at any position you want. Lock it in. And you can do up to 45-degree cuts. There are built-in stops into it as well. This also has a pretty cool feature. There is a little laser here which helps you line up everything, and it's hard to see. I don't know if this is picking it up, but when you have some material under there, you do see it during the daytime. And then there's also a light feature which you can't see right now because it's daytime, but if you're working in the dark, that's probably pretty helpful. So let's talk about what I don't like about this saw. So this is the water pump, and this thing is pretty good, not a problem. However, this clear hose that I attached to it is not long enough so that this thing can sit upright in the bottom of the pail. So that's one thing. It needed probably another 3 inches. Another thing that I don't like about this saw is this sliding table has a little bit of a problem, has an issue, and I think it's just a manufacturing flaw that would probably be common with all of them. So it's very firm here. There's no wobble, okay? In fact, the saw is wobbling, but the table's not. And you're really good. You're still good. There's no wobble. There's no wobble. There's no wobble. No wobble. But then what happens? There are rollers here. There's a whole bunch of them, okay? As soon as you get down to the point where the blade is about to finish its cut on whatever material you're cutting, it falls off the last roll. It falls off the third roller actually, and then there's a wobble. And the problem is that right before you finish your cut, this thing shifts a little bit. It ends up chipping the back edge of whatever you're cutting, and that's a problem if you're looking for super precise work. Let me show you one more time up close so you can see these rollers and what the problem is here. So everything is fine. There's no wobble. There's no wobble here. And as I'm moving forward closer to finishing my cut, you'll see that this is the roller that creates the problem, because as soon as you're off of this roller, there are only 2 other rollers left, and you have, let's see if you can catch this. There's a little bit of wobble here. Here there isn't any, but as soon as you skip over this last roller, you have that, and it's substantial. It's about 1/8 of an inch. Another thing I don't like about this wet saw is the location of the drain hole for the water tray. It is located directly underneath where the wheels are, and there's a pipe under there as well, which makes it impossible for you to just leave your pail right under there while it's draining. You have to actually hold it while it's draining. Another thing that I don't like about the design of this saw is the fact that everything seems to store very nicely in this drawer except these 2 pieces here. And so when you're putting your saw away, you have to find a separate location for these, and I could see me, the way I am so very unorganized, losing these things. Another problem with the design of this saw is that when you fold it up, and it is a nice feature that it folds up like this, it's so easy to move around, but the problem is it is very, very top heavy, and so it doesn't take much for it to go over, and if it does, your entire investment is done. So a very simple fix would have been to just increase the size of the piping by 6 inches in the bottom, and it would have been a lot more stable, but they didn't do that. I'm also starting to see some rust where the welds are. So what's the final verdict? If you're a professional, I wouldn't buy this saw. It has enough power to cut through bricks and stone, but you have to run it through more slowly, and time is money when you're doing this for a living. But if you're someone like me, a DIY guy who's doing projects around the house from time to time, and for the price point, I think this is a great machine. It does have its flaws, and there are some things I'm going to have to work around to make sure that I can get those perfect cuts when I need them. But for $550, I think this is probably as good as you're going to get for that price range. And they do get very, very expensive very quickly. But overall, if I had to buy it again, I would buy it again. But again, there are issues with it. It's not perfect. And I think to find something more perfect, you're going to have to spend a lot more money. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helps in your decision in buying a wet saw. If you have any questions, please put those in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you're not subscribed, check out my channel page. If you like my videos, please think about subscribing. I hope everybody is healthy and safe, and like always, I will see you in the next one.